Good morning, folks. Today it is October 8th, 2018. I'm sorry I haven't made a video. I didn't make a video yesterday. I was just so overwhelmed with frustration and anguish, and I don't really consider the Houston Texans a rival, but they have Texas bragging rights for the next 4 years. And you know what? I'm not even going to get into that. I feel like I wasted 3 hours of my life last night watching that game. You know, the defense wasn't perfect, but they held that team to 19 points. If you hold a team to under 20 points, you did a pretty damn good job. You know, I can't really blame the coaching either. I mean, everybody's going hard against Jason Garrett for not going for it on 4th and 1. But to be quite honest, I thought that was the right decision. I still think that was the right decision. You pinned the Houston Texans deep, and you just trust your defense. The defense, DeAndre Hopkins he's one of the top 5 receivers in the league. You know, we still should have wrapped him up, but he just broke out. It's nothing you could do about that. I still think Jason Garrett made the right decision. The Houston Texans, they basically just said, you know what, screw it. We're going to stop Zeke. They held him to 54 yards rushing, I believe. We're going to stop Zeke, and we're going to dare you, Dak. We're going to dare you and your receivers to make something happen. And they still couldn't make anything happen. The Houston Texans have the worst secondary in all of pro football, and we still couldn't take advantage of it. You guys, this is extremely disconcerting when the opposing defense has the worst secondary in the NFL, and you still can't take advantage of it. Listen, Zeke is not going to always go off for 100 yards. Okay, he's not always going to get a couple of catches for 80-something yards. He's not going to do that all the time. He can't do that all the time. Opposing defenses will zero in on him at all times. He's our only weapon, consistent weapon. And for us to only score 16 points, and you know what's crazy? We even got the ball first in overtime, and we still couldn't do anything. We couldn't even get a fucking field goal. I mean, This is getting ridiculous. We have no playmakers outside of Zeke. Dak isn't making anything easier on the receivers. He's not throwing them open. He threw 2 picks yesterday, and I'm like, man, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on, man? You know, the Giants lost, the Eagles lost, and more than likely the Redskins will lose tonight against the Saints because they're playing in the Superdome. But this whole division is fucking crap. This division is shit. And to be quite honest, whoever comes out of this division, I don't think they're going to go far anyway in the playoffs. You know, a couple of years back, the Giants went 2-3 in the first 5 games, and then they ended up finishing 11-5. So, I mean, you never know what could happen in this crazy NFL, but last night was inexcusable. And you can't blame the coaches. I know people are going to get upset with me, but this is all on Dak and the receivers, man. They just can't make shit happen. They can't do anything. They can't take advantage of the one-on-one matchups. They can't take advantage of when the defense is always going to stack 8 men in the box, and they're going to play man-to-man coverage. And we can never win those matchups. We never win those matchups. Never. It's just, I'm glad I didn't make a video last night because I would have went on, the rampage was real. You know, I was so fucking upset. I just turned my phone off because I was talking to one of my homeboys. He's a Houston Texans fan. I just turned my phone off. I turned everything off, and I just went to bed, and I had my girl hold me. I'm not playing. Like, I was irate. I was livid. I couldn't take it. I was just, wow, man. And the Giants and the Eagles lost yesterday. And I'm like, if we win, we're going to beat division leaders. We're going to be leading in the division because I know the Redskins are going to lose tonight. So they will be 2-2. We would have been 3-2 had we won. And then everybody else would have been 2-3 and 1-4. So we would have been leading the division. But instead, we decided to lose. And a gutsy play by Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, man, he was getting his ass torn up by Jalen Smith, Van Der Esch. Just everyone was whooping his ass. And he still went out there and balled. You know, he outplayed Dak, and he was hurt. He outplayed Dak, and he was hurt. The man could barely walk. They were using stethoscopes on the sidelines to make sure his ribs were okay, make sure his breathing was okay, make sure his heart rate was okay. The man, his ribs were crushed, and he still went out there and outplayed Dak. That's not a good look, man. Not a good look at all. And then DeAndre Hopkins at the end, he's an elite receiver. Shit, he does what he does. If there's so much you can do to contain elite players. That's why I really wasn't upset at the defense. There's so much you can do. An elite player will always get theirs, no matter what. It's like LeBron James. You can do whatever you want. He's going to get his. You know, you look at Antonio Brown. It doesn't matter what you do. He's going to find a way to get his. Elite players just find a way. And at that moment, he found his way in overtime with those spin moves and on the 49-yard gain. You know, shit happens, man. But on the offensive side, we don't have that. We just don't have that. We have Zeke, but there's so much that Zeke can do. You can't depend on him to get 100 yards every game, especially when every defense is game planning specifically for him, to stop him. So I don't blame the coaches. I don't blame the defense. The defense made some great-ass stands yesterday. They were bending, but they weren't breaking. You know, for the most part, I was fairly impressed with the defense. Now, Texans got, 400-something off total yards of offense. So, I mean, that's not great. But, I mean, in today's NFL, I mean, shit, that isn't hard to do. You know, especially with the rules that are so lax. Well, not lax. I mean, the NFL now is offensively driven, and it's to make the offense like perform on a much higher standard to keep the ratings up, keep the average watcher engaged. So that's what they do. They make things very, very easy for the offense to drive down the field and to score. So, but still though, you know, I don't know, you guys. I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. I'm sorry if I'm not. I'm so distraught. We lost to the fucking Texans, man. Fucking disgusting. All right, you guys. I got to get off of this shit. I'll see y'all later. Peace.